This is Dame Dame at damedame.com. And today, this moment, we are talking about starting a business without your family support. I can tell you right now, one of the hardest things you're going to come across if you want to start a business, you can have a job that you don't like and have something that you really would love to do that you'd rather be doing. I can tell you now, if you have a family, everybody who hears my voice right now, if you want to start a business, and especially if you're married with kids, where you already have a responsibility to other people, where you're last on the totem pole of things that are important, it's children, wife, then you, like right above the dog, okay? If you're in that situation, that's the toughest you can be in. Because if you were single, even if you have a girlfriend, but y'all don't live together, you do whatever you want to do. And quit your job, which I do not recommend. Never quit your job till you have another job. But hang in there as long as possible. Quit a job to leave another job, even if that another job is working for yourself. But don't just quit, because you always need money. That being said, if you have a family, children, that's the hardest deal to work through, okay? And not that family that I'm talking about, but your parents, your sisters and brothers and cousins and aunts and uncles. 9 out of 10, they're going to tell you, do not start your own business because it's not going to work. You know, if you can honestly say, okay, before I go any further, that your family supports you 100%, first place, that is so rare. That is like lottery odds rare, that I would suggest that if you can sit there and say, I'm looking to start a business, I'm married, I have wife and kids, I have bills, the mortgage, car note, and I don't like my job and I want to start a business, and my family, not just my wife, but her family and my family, my mother, uncle, aunts and uncles, are all on board. You need to go out and buy every lottery ticket that they sell where the payout, the minimal payout, is over like $1 million. Because if you have that type of support, that's so rare, you wouldn't need to start a business. You could just go out and play the lottery and you're going to hit. So if your family will support you and your wife's family, why go through all the work of a business plan and toiling? Just go out and go in with $20. Say, I want every lottery ticket that pays over $1 million. You're a shoo-in. Now back to reality. If you're like most of us, you may have family members. First, the majority of people have family members who never opened up a business. So they have no clue what it takes to run a business. So they have no respect for you and your thoughts of running a business. So they're going to tell you don't do it. It's doomed to fail. Okay, that's the majority of what you're going to get. Those family members have just been worker bees their whole life. And that's fine. Not judging them. But they clearly don't know what they're talking about because they never did it. Then you're going to have, some of you out there have family members who either run a business and it's crashed and burned. That's the majority. Or they have a business and it's not successful. They're like basically working just to be working poor. Okay, they're working for themselves to be struggling. And they're telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Those two scenarios normally have in common arrogance. When I say arrogance, and I don't mean this to be negative, and I'm not trying to judge, but it is what it is. Guarantee you, when you see a business that's working, struggling, or the one that just crashed and burned, that person normally has 5 or 6 businesses. They all crashed and burned. They never had a counselor / mentor, and they never had a business plan. Those two things, you need a business plan, because that's a roadmap to success. It's going to tell you 6 months from now we're going to be making this amount and how we're going to get there. It's a living document. It says 9 months from now we plan on doing this amount of revenue, but it's not a dream. This is how we plan on getting there. There's real brick and mortar, foot on the ground steps to make it happen. That's the benefit of a business plan. Then you need a mentor / counselor. Somebody who's bought and sold like a half a dozen businesses. So they kind of are an expert at what they're doing. Like they're a multimillionaire, and for free, they'll answer your questions and help guide you around all the pitfalls that they had to deal with themselves. Those people who are telling you that, they didn't have that. On their own, this is how it went. I make the best brownies in the world. And the other cousin over there eating the brownies tomorrow. Yeah. And those two, their brains didn't equal 2 eggs that were scrambled in a frying pan. And they set forth to open up a business. So yeah, of course it's going to fail. Yeah, that guy's going to tell you, don't do it. But you have to ask yourself, if you are going to start your business the same way that guy did, same way your relative did, you're pretty much going to get what he got. SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives. They're under the umbrella of the SBA, Small Business Administration. Those are business people. Those are successful business people. A lot of those people have bought and sold businesses over a half a dozen times and made millions of dollars. And they give back. They give back. That's their way of giving back to upcoming entrepreneurs to help you become a millionaire or a thousandaire or a billionaire. If that's your goal, you need one of those. They're free at SCORE. Get you one. They'll help you succeed. Now, that being said, I look at it like this. This way I look at it. Look at the senior citizens in your family. Your own business is a opportunity to own your own cash register. Anytime you work for somebody, 1, you could be fired. 2, you can't control how much when you work for somebody, you can make them millions of dollars and you never get paid millions of dollars, and nor should you. No matter how much you think you should. Reason why, that company belonged to that man. And that man's thinking, he's like, well, why don't you go out and get your own company? So no, the thinking is, when you work for yourself, you control your destiny instead of being a worker ant for somebody else, making somebody else rich. If you're around a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about and they're against you, it pretty much means you're going down the right way. And I know that sounds crazy, but think about it, this was my point of view. If people, for one, who never had a successful business are telling you you shouldn't do it, that means you don't know what you're talking about. So, okay. Then the ones who had a business, take a good look at them. And you say, wait a minute, this guy don't know what he's doing. Everything he does is based on arrogance. Like he or she will not know what they're doing and go running right down that road. Okay, the object is don't do. This is a living example of what not to do. Odds are your family will not support you. You have to support yourself. I do not know what your spiritual relationship is with a creator. I do not sit here and act like when I say I believe in God, I know for a fact that 99.999% of people who hear that come out of my mouth, me and you don't believe in the same thing. Believe me, I know that. Because if you did, you wouldn't be acting the way you're acting. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But I will tell you one thing. You're going to start a business prepared for a lonely journey. And I don't know what your spiritual belief is, but you better get close to him. If he's let you down a lot, I don't know, maybe you don't have a spiritual belief. If he's been there for you, people will come and go. Through no fault of anybody. People move, people die, people just be around the corner. Just don't come, you just don't cross paths anymore. People come and go. A relationship with an unseen power that's greater than yourself, for me, that's what keeps me going, man. I have no faith whatsoever in man. And I mean, there's a lot of good men and women out there, but the good ones pass away. The good ones move to the other side of the country or move out the country. Good people will come and go out of your life. You are always with you, but you don't have to be alone. That's what works for me. I don't know what works for you. there's a list of books that I read that helped me a lot. There's a whole lot of books that I've read that helped me a lot, but that's just a few. And speaking about books, you know what? That's another subject. Start your business. Look at the elderly people around you and ask yourself, how many success stories do you have in your life? That's what I want to close with, because that's your future. Look at the aunts and uncles and your siblings, everybody who's older than you in your family, from your parents, your siblings, and look around, because that's you. If they're broke, if they're in need, if they're delusional. Delusional is, like, I got family members who are broke and in need, and then when I say delusional, they'll sit there and say, I don't need anything, but they're constantly asking you for help. I don't need anything. And the next breath, I need you to do. It's like almost, as long as you're around to enable them to live this pitiful life, they don't need anything. So look around and look at your future and ask yourself, are you comfortable with being that? Some people are. Some people want to look at that and go, no, no, I don't want to go out like that. I call that going out like a sucker, where you don't even try to improve your life. Try to make a difference in your life. If you don't do it for you, try to do it for your kids. Try to do it for your wife. But try to do it for you first. You want to start a business, start one. Make sure it's something you love. Write down 10 things you love to do on a piece of paper that have nothing to do with money. Then when you back up and look at the big picture, every one of those 10 things will be connected to a multi-million-dollar industry. So there's money in everything that you could think of that you love to do. 2, make sure it's legal and make sure it's moral. Those 3 things. You love to do it, it's legal, and it's moral. Some of you are thinking, well, James, moral, I don't get it. I'm giving an example, then we're going to end it right here. Selling sex toys, that's legal, and you may love to do it, but it's not moral. If you had a baby girl, she's 3 years old, do you want your baby girl to end up in the industry based on you? Like, if you're in the sex toy industry and your daughter becomes a member of the entertainment industry, and she gives the credit to her father, come on, is that what you want? There are some men out here who would say they'd be proud, and that's fine. I'm not one of them, but I'm with the other side of the coin. I would not want my child to go in that direction. Remember, every time you're looking at a porn movie, that's somebody's daughter, man. Could be yours. Love what you do. Let it be legal. Let it be moral. Okay? That way it will stand the test of time. You receive blessings beyond blessing from the energy that you're creating. Any questions, any comments, give me a call here at dameadame.com. I'm always looking forward to be in communication and contact with my humanity family. Take care. Love you.